Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's time to do another Project Pan update. I have made some good headway, and so I'm also bringing in some new products to also work on. So we'll go ahead and get started with the items that I have managed to finish up. So the first item that I managed to work my way through is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I really wanted to get one of my two concealers worked through before the next update. I didn't have a ton left in here, as you can see, and I've really, scraped a lot of this out. I took the stopper out, and so there's just not enough product in here that I finally was able to call this a quits. I do have two more of these, but I won't pull anything out until I finish up the other concealer that is in this project. I also managed to finish up the Laura Geller Color Luster Lip Gloss. This I really did enjoy. I was at that last mark the last time I updated it, and as you can see, I really had scraped the sides of this. This got really messy when I was trying to finish up the last bits of it, because quite honestly, in my opinion, once you take the stopper out of a gloss, I can no longer travel with it because it starts to like seep out of all the sides, and I'm just glad that the messiness of this is done, but I did enjoy this color. The last item that I managed to finish up is my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. I really have been exclusively using this since the last update. I originally was going to do this update a little bit sooner, and then I delayed it. So the last time I showed you guys, I was here, and then I managed to work through the rest of this product. I really worked a lot out of it. I actually grew to like this a bit more as I was using it, but it's definitely not the kind of coverage I desire on a regular basis. So I'm happy it's gone. Probably wouldn't get it again, but just really glad that I've gotten full use out of it. Next up, we have the items that I haven't quite finished working on yet, but I've been making progress with. First I have is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I definitely could have gotten this done for this particular update, but I finished up my day moisturizer samples, and I had a couple of like primer moisturizer samples to use up, so I decided to get those used and put this on the back burner. But as you can see, it's pretty much close to being done. I am here currently, and so now I'm just trying to get through the last few bits of this. I have grown to personally like using this, but I'm really pumped to try to work out another full-size primer and then pull out a few other ones in my collection, because I definitely feel like I have too many primers. Speaking of primers, I also have my Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue. I was here at the last update, and now I am down to here. Steady progress. I have no complaints with this. This will feel really good to work through, but I definitely feel like it's one of those like maybe end of the summer I will have this done, but probably not sooner than that. So it's just plugging along slowly but surely. I also have my Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. I don't really feel like the progress lines are super helpful. Essentially, the way I'm tracking the progress on this is when I pull this out, you can see I'm not getting a ton of product on here. I have taken the stopper out of this, so I'm really working on like the bottom bits of this tube. I have to say, since forcing myself to use this and pairing this up with baking, I have been liking this as my under eye concealer. I have it on today. I feel like though that this is really meant more for me for the winter when I'm a little bit paler. I feel like it's definitely becoming more and more stark as I start to get a little tiny bit of sunshine in my life. So I definitely wouldn't rule out buying this again, but I really do want to get this worked through so I can go back to my beloved ColourPop. The other item that I have, I will go ahead and insert progress of from the last update, but it's my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I really feel like this is taking me a super long time to use. Part of me wants to abandon this, and part of me is like, no, stick through it to the end. But I can't really tell if the formula has perhaps changed, or because I repressed it, I don't know if that's done something to it. But this is where I currently am at. I really would like to get this done sooner rather than later, because I want to start like playing with my bronzer collection and kind of picking and choosing what I want to keep and what I don't, but I won't let myself do that until I've completely gotten through this. I'm kind of weird like that. Sometimes I'm afraid to give myself too much freedom when I'm trying to pan something, because if I do, it'll just like prolong this, and I really want to get this used up. The last couple items that I have are ones that I am tracking on my pad of paper. The first one that I have is my Tarte Sweet Lip Surgence Lip Tint. I really have been plugging along on this. I don't have very much left in here. This is one of those things where I feel like if I was someone who frequently applied lip product throughout the day, this wouldn't take but like a few days to work through, but I'm just not that kind of person. I never really touch up anything besides like lip balm at school. So as you can see here, this is where I was at the last update, and now I am down to here. It doesn't look like much progress, but I really feel like if I am diligent and start to pull this out like on the weekends and put it in my bag during the weekends, I definitely can get this done probably in the next, 2 or 3 weeks. That would definitely be ideal. But I will say I do like the texture of this, and I don't dislike the color fully on me, so it's pretty good. And then we have the NYX Wonder Pencil. It is getting smaller, I assure you. As you can see here, I have pretty just like consistent markings for the NYX Wonder Pencil. I just keep like slowly plugging along with it. Again, I'm not really in a rush per se. I'm just really curious to see how long this takes, but we can start to see that I'm almost getting to the point where the pencil is almost as big as the cap, which I don't know, small victories for me personally. All right, so now we're bringing in 4 new items to add to the ones that I am panning. The first I have is kind of like a gimme. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in 201 Classic Ivory. At this point, I don't have a ton of foundations in my collection, which is good. I'm glad that that's a thing. But I still feel like I just want to get a few more out. And so I pulled this one out because honestly, it just has the least amount of product in it. So I figured it would be the quickest to work through first, and then it's one less bottle that I have clunking around. This is a fine formula. I feel like I go through phases where I like it and don't like it. Sometimes I think it oxidizes a little bit too dark on my skin, and this is like the lightest shade that they make, but it's fine. I also wanted to pull out a setting mist or a setting spray, and I really wanted to pull out a full-size guy. I have predominantly focused on using up a lot of the minis that I've had, but I'm ready to like really bang out a large size one. So I pulled out my Urban Decay All Nighter makeup setting spray. I don't have too much of this used, but I feel like it's gonna go by pretty quickly. I'm kind of addicted to spraying a lot of this stuff on my face when I use it, but this stuff literally will hold everything in place no matter what kind of like sweaty situation I find myself in. This stuff is awesome, so I'm happy to use it up. I also wanted to pull in another lip product. I like to pair the Tarte Lip Surgence with a gloss, and so for the longest time on my vanity, I have had this Buxom full-on lip cream in White Russian. This is another one of those ones where I've taken out the stopper on it, so you can see that I don't have like a ton of product in here, but it gets really messy when you take the stoppers out. So when the product is all settled, it is at the very like bottom part down there. So not a ton of progress, but again, it's one of those ones where I'm only really applying it once, maybe twice a day. And so it's not getting a ton of daily usage. So I think it'll probably take me as long to use this up as it does the Tarte Lip Surgence. The last item that I have is a product that I have actually refurbished in my makeup routine. This is the Tristique Mini Highlight Stick. I got this in a, I don't know, I think it was like a Sephora play box maybe. And I don't like this as a highlighter. I feel like as a highlighter, it moves your foundation. It doesn't have a creaminess to it, but I liked the shade of it. I think it's a really pretty, like general champagne-y sort of neutral shade. So I thought to myself, like, why don't I try this on my eyes as maybe like a eyeshadow base? And I've really been liking it for that. So I figured I'd go ahead and just like throw this in and finish it up. I don't have a super ton of product in here. Let's see if it will focus. There we go. I don't have a lot of like product left in here per se, but I do enjoy it. I do like the shade of it, really. I don't think I'd go out of my way to buy this particular item, but I like the shade quite a bit. So I have marked it here on my little pad of paper, and we'll just see how I'm able to progress through it. But that is it for this project pan. I really feel like, unlike last year, I've really been churning through a lot of these project pan items, which I'm really happy about because it always feels good to use makeup, and I definitely feel like I've been making a lot of progress on my makeup I wanted to use up in 2018. I'm planning on doing an update in July on that, which is a 6-month point, to see how I have actually made a dent on those items I originally wanted to use up over the course of the year. But that is it for me, and I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.